So this is our next lesson, and it's about calculating the surface area of a prism. Now, it's probably a little bit easier than what we've been doing in the last lesson. Very simply, we need to work out the area of each of the faces of a prism and add them together, and that's all it is. So follow these 3 steps here. Step 1, identify the faces, so you need to know the shapes, calculate the area of each of the faces, and then I'll add up all the faces together. So again, we want to look for some shortcuts so we don't have to look at every single face. So if we take a rectangular prism, we'll know that there are some areas exactly the same. So for example, the top and the bottom are the same. The left and right sides are the same, and the front and the back are the same. Okay, so essentially there's only 3 areas to work out, and we're just doubling them. So surface area equals, let's start with the bottom. The bottom rectangle is 8 by 3. So the way I like to set it up is I like to write my area in brackets and then multiply it by how many times we see it. So we've got the top and the bottom and the top, so we times it by 2. Let's do the left and right hand sides. So width is 3, height is 5, so again in brackets 5 times 3, and how many of them are there? There's 2. And let's do the front and the back. Well, the front is 5 by 8, so we're going to write 8 by 5 multiplied by 2, because we've got the back one as well. And that's essentially it. We just need to work it all out. So we have got 8 times 3 is 24, doubled is 48. We have got 5 times 3 is 15, times 2 is 30, and 8 5s are 40, times 2 is 80. So our total area is going to be 158 centimeters squared. So part B is a little bit harder, but as long as you can identify the areas and the dimensions of each of the areas, then it should be fairly simple and straightforward to work out. So let's start with the front and the back, which are triangles. We've got a base times a height, so it is going to be 6 times 3.3 divided by 2, because it's a triangle. But how many of them do we have? We have 2 times by 2. Let's start with the base. 6 by 8, it's a rectangle, so 6 by 8, it's the only rectangle of that size there, so we just leave it at 6 by 8. Let's do the one on the right, sloping one on the right, 5 by 8, so that's 5 by 8, plus the one on the left is 4 by 8. 4 by 8. Okay, now we can work it out. I'm going to be a little lazy and use the calculator for this one. So let's use the calculator. So we have 6 times, oops, 6 times 3.3 divided by 2 times by 2, they just cancel each other out, plus 6 times 8 plus 5 times 8 plus 4 times 8 equals 139.8. 139.8 centimeters squared. And that is how you work out the surface area of a prism.